The very moment Dragon Antares hears the hero's voice, he propels himself upward into the heavens. Without the slightest pause, he stretches his massive jaws apart and releases a roaring flood of searing flames down upon the bony horde beneath him. The fire surges ahead like a rampant inferno beyond control. Beneath that crushing blaze, every skeleton within view is engulfed completely. In mere seconds, the vast host is burned away, turned into nothing but scattered ashes drifting through the air. Observing the devastation, Antarus exhales with contempt and states icily, "Your army of the dead is worthless before me." Meanwhile, Lin Moyu remains imprisoned within the raging ocean of fire. The flames coil around him, charring his flesh as everything around him crumbles into glowing cinders. Though the blaze devours him, the protagonist gradually lifts his gaze, staring directly at Dragon Antus. He speaks with steady composure and no trace of dread. "Antus, is this truly all the power you possess?" Those remarks kindle Antar's wrath instantly. Fury blazes within his eyes as he parts his jaws once more, releasing an even more dreadful torrent of flame. With a deafening bellow, he roars, "Arrogant whelp, behold the might of one who stands at the half-step transcendent realm." In a heartbeat, a far deadlier eruption bursts from his mouth. This wave of fire surpasses the previous one in sheer terror. When it slams into Lin, a massive shockwave detonates outward. The impact is so overwhelming that both his corporeal form and even his spirit are torn to shreds. The blazing storm expands in all directions, consuming everything along its path. Colossal curtains of fire sweep across the terrain, turning the entire region into a hellish landscape of unending flames. When Anteri can no longer detect the hero's aura, astonishment flickers across his expression. Squinting slightly, he murmurs, "Was that foolish boy testing some kind of technique?" All at once, an incredible scene reveals itself before him. From within the roaring inferno, a burst of brilliant emerald energy erupts outward. The skeleton warriors that had been reduced to dust begin restoring themselves, standing up one after another. Antares is completely dumbfounded. Simultaneously, Lin Moyu's form begins to take shape again. Innumerable tiny green motes assemble in midair, rebuilding his body fragment by fragment. He had just triggered his newly gained power, complete rebirth. Restored in full and bearing not the slightest wound, the hero stood upright before Antarus, with a faint, playful curve to his lips. In a relaxed yet taunting voice, he remarked, "So this is what you call half-step transcendent power. I was anticipating something far greater." The display of that power together with Lin Moyu's unshaken demeanor rendered Antarus completely mute. Glaring at him in shock, he questioned, "How can this be? I distinctly destroyed every one of your undead troops." A glimmer of realization crossed his gaze. "Now I understand. This must have been the ability you intended to test, correct? A fresh technique, or perhaps an innate gift that allows you to return from death." Lin Moyu inclined his head slightly and answered with composure, "That's right. It is my newly awakened talent, complete rebirth." He then described the full range of its effects and functions to Antarus in detail. After hearing the explanation, Antas released a quiet laugh tinged with appreciation. "Remarkable. With such a gift, you could revive once every 10 minutes if escape were your goal. Even the Demon Emperor would find it difficult to eradicate you completely." At that statement, the hero's expression turned severe. His hand tightened into a fist as he proclaimed coldly, "The Abyss? The Dragon Clan. Before long, I will personally settle the score." As his words trailed away, Anteri conjured a spatial gateway in front of them. Without hesitating, Lin Moyu stepped into it, vanishing toward a new location. The perspective shifted to the lower realm, the meteoric star continent. This territory was famed not only by that name, but also notorious as the most dangerous expanse of all. Both the Dragon King Hall and the Origin's secret realm were situated within its borders. Lin Moyu had already arrived. As soon as he set foot upon the soil, he gave a small smile and said quietly, "My gratitude and tears." All at once, a blazing celestial stone streaked across the heavens at tremendous velocity, crashing into the ground not far from where he stood. The collision unleashed a massive detonation. Studying the aftermath, Lin Moyu reflected aloud. So this is the so-called limit. No surprise they call it the limit continent. Every meteor that falls carries force comparable to an attack from a level 85 boss. He summoned his recently obtained skeleton horseman and stated evenly, "We'll improve our skill proficiency here first. Once that's done, we'll proceed further inward." The scene then transitioned to the Abyss world. In that realm, radiant violet runes, shaped like dragons, illuminated the surroundings. At the center of a sealed runic array, a dragon was bound, utterly incapable of movement. Standing before the restrained creature was the demon emperor. Advancing slowly, he etched a symbol into the dragon's flesh with his claw. He gathered the dragon's blood into a crystal vial, lifted it without haste, and drank it. A dark grin spread across his features. That simple-minded Antarus actually dispatched Lin Moyu to the lower realm, the eternal trial ground. Previously, that boy was protected, making interference troublesome. But in the lower realm? That is another matter entirely. The Dragon Emperor will certainly be intrigued. The focus shifted to the Dragon World. Seated upon his throne was the Dragon Emperor. A dragon warrior knelt below and reported respectfully, "Your Majesty, Lin Moyu has emerged in the lower realm." Fury instantly clouded the Dragon Emperor's face. His voice boomed, "If he is there, destroy him." The kneeling warrior responded at once, "As you command, Your Majesty." Back upon the meteoric star continent, the protagonist's headless horseman moved ahead. Its parameters were plainly visible: level 70, possessing 500,000 strength, 320,000 agility, 320,000 spirit, and 640,000 constitution statistics, overwhelming by any measure. Its techniques were no less impressive. It could unleash charge, accelerating to 3,000 meters per second, and inflicting damage equal to 5 times its strength, with a cooldown of 1 minute. It also had group defense, which accumulated defensive force alongside similar units, and immunity, a passive trait that nullified all adverse status effects. Observing this, Lin Moyu allowed a faint smile. The undead knight's attributes are extraordinary. Unfortunately, their numbers are limited. From now on, the Headless Horseman will command the assaults of the Undead Legion. Activating Undead Gaze, he continued, "Aside from the Horseman, there are still 2 offensive abilities I need to strengthen." As soon as the skill was released, the entire region filled with a heavy aura of death. Soul fire flared everywhere, spreading like ghostly flames across the landscape. Meanwhile, upon receiving the Dragon Emperor's decree, multitudes of dragon warriors gathered. After determining Lin Moyu's coordinates, voices called out, "Position verified. Target located, he's here." Ignoring the ongoing meteor barrage, they surged toward him. As they drew closer, one warrior exclaimed, "Such overwhelming undead presence," another cried, "It's him." Perceiving their approach from above, Lin Moyu smiled serenely. "So the Dragon Clan has noticed my arrival." His gaze grew sharp. "You've arrived at just the right moment." In that second, he unleashed the full might of Undead Gaze's soul fire. The devastating force swelled, poised to burst forth. Behind him, an enormous flaming eye formed in the sky. As it opened, torrents of soul fire poured outward across the battlefield. The dragon warriors halted in terror. "What is that?" they shouted in alarm. They pressed on regardless, but the instant the soul fire brushed against them, it engulfed them entirely. Within mere moments, numerous dragon warriors were reduced to blazing figures that tumbled from the heavens one after another. Witnessing the destruction, Lin Moyu murmured in astonishment, "Astounding strength. It eradicates their souls at once." Without specialized gear or unique skills, anyone under level 80 would probably perish immediately. He then chose to experiment with another ability, Bone Spear. Manifesting it in his hand, he said evenly, "Let's observe its effectiveness." With a swift thrust, he launched the spear skyward toward a dragon warrior. It sliced through the air at incredible speed. One dragon warrior noticed and remarked casually, "Seems he tossed something up at us." Before he could respond further, the bone spear drove straight through his chest, continuing forward in its lethal trajectory without losing momentum. Thank you all for supporting my video. I wish you endless happiness and joy in life. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like and leave a comment to show your support. I sincerely appreciate it.